felt like a lot of the game came down to perimeter shooting. How do you feel you guys did in that performance?
I think we could have shot better. I don't think none of us really shot good tonight. I think inside presence could have been a lot better as well. You get 10 to 12 points from the inside. They walled us up good down low with a good presence. We turn the ball over a lot on the inside. Turn the ball over a lot in transition. Just got to be better in that area. Be ready to shoot the ball when it come out. And what's crazy is we turn the ball over like we turn the ball over, but we still in the game. Still had a chance to win. Just fortunate.
Kareem, after the last game, Keith called you the best leader that he's ever coached. How are you going to lead your guys after a heartbreaking loss like this one?
Just got to come back ready tomorrow. We got another big game Friday. Like I said in there, it's over with now. We got to get back to the drawing board. It hurt. It does hurt. I have to be honest. It hurts. But here's the thing. We got a team full of guys that's older, mature guys, and I just know that Coach going to make sure we're ready to go Friday. Leaders behind us, we got, 27 more opportunities for games like that, and we'll be ready.
Defensively, I mean, Princeton had a high shooting percentage. Defense is one of those things that takes a minute to gel. With so many new guys on the team, do you think that kind of contributed to why they were able to score so high off you guys?
I think, early on, I think we defended well. We just got to get our hand up when we get tired out there. I think a couple guys got tired playing extended minutes. But they shot the ball well. They shot at a high level tonight. They were hitting shots that Scout didn't say they would be hitting, and they just had a hot night tonight.
Kareem, it's one thing to lose a game like this, but it's another thing to lose a game like this. And I told myself this coming in here that this is as loud as the building has been all season long. And how bad did you want to win in terms of feeding off the fans' momentum and the electricity here, because it was loud?
Can you repeat that one more time?
I was just saying that it's one thing to lose a game like this, but it's another thing to lose a game like this when you consider that this building has been as loud as it's been all year. And
Yeah.
Does this really hurt in terms of losing a game and feeding off the fans' momentum at the same time but still losing?
It do, because we had a live crowd tonight. But if they really fans, they'll be back. And we going to bounce back, and we going to keep fighting, and we going to keep doing what we do every game. And we going to get back to work and get ready to win at A-10 as well. But as for this game, like I said, it's over. We got a good group of older guys. It stings right now, but I'll make sure my guys are ready to go. We're going to be ready to go Friday for sure.
This schedule you have is built probably for pretty high aspirations. You play teams like this. This team made the Sweet 16 last year. Is that part of what you talk about when you guys go in the locker room, after this game and going into the next game? It might have taught you something.
Mm-hmm. For sure. We had our shot. We had our shot tonight. We had our shot tonight to shock the world, and it didn't fall in our favor. It just wasn't our time tonight. It's okay. Like I said, we got, Nebraska next week. That's a Power 5 big school. We got Ryder this week. Can't sleep on them. They're a really good team. Like I said, it hurts right now, but Princeton would have been a great win to add to our, our W's. But like I said, lost by one with a shot to win, and we shot bad. We'll be all right.
Kareem, you had a really big reaction when Jake DeMichael made that three at the end of the game. How cool is it to see him have that moment and just the freshman as a whole kind of getting minutes on the court?
Because I see the work, and Jake is actually a really good talent. To be honest, he didn't have many Division I offers, and he came in here and bust his butt. Like, he's really getting out the mud. I love him, man, and just to see him make that shot, I just lost it because he got me an assist, and he scored it, I think, his first college career bucket. So I was happy for him, and it came from me.
Is there any benefit, really? I mean, obviously you had this with Cleveland State, but just a game that goes down to the wire at incredibly high intensity, can you still take some, learning experiences from these high-pressure moments?
Yep, because it's building us. It's building us for when we get to that A-10 championship. It's building us for when we get to the tournament. I truly believe this is the team that will be able to do it this year. But, to get there, you got to go through some rough patches, and this is one of them. But I think we'll be fine, man. I really do believe that. We'll be okay. We'll be okay.
It was a tough game. Our guys battled to the end. We got it right in front of the rim. Just didn't make the play. We turned it over the play before, which killed us. But our guys are gutty guys. They played hard. They didn't quite have it, but they hung around, and gave themselves a good chance to win. So it's a tough team to play early in the year. You know, their tempo control. They get in their best players' hands. They run that Princeton stuff. And overall, we guarded good. We got guarded the ball a little bit better than that. But overall, you know, we had more offensive problems than we had defensive problems, I thought, overall. Just didn't quite have it. Thanks.
You guys gave up 54% shooting from the field, and for the first 32 or so minutes, you didn't allow any back cuts from Princeton, but instead they was able to handle you guys one-on-one. Was that something you're just going to have to accept them taking you guys one-on-one, or was that something you didn't expect?
We expected it. They put in their best. They have 3 really good one-on-one players, and they move you around so much that you lose sight of the ball sometimes, and if you don't guard the ball well, there's not as much help because they're running all those cuts and they're running you around. I thought, like, energy-wise, we didn't have great energy, and then we didn't play much bench, you know, which probably hurt us some. You know, we played a lot of games, so it looked like we just didn't quite have like Fusini, for example. I didn't think he had his normal juice, you know. So, you know, that's a tough decision, like against that kind of stuff. Like, do you play more bench? Do you play less bench? And then we didn't score well around the rim, which really hurt us. And then we worked hard against a double team. We didn't do a very good job against that. We thought we could throw it in there and get 3 balls back out, but we didn't do a very good job with it.
Defense is one of those things that can take some time to kind of settle in, especially with so many new players on the team. Do you think that has contributed to maybe some of your defensive issues early in the season?
Not really. I think, you know, we just have to get better. I mean, we did some good things. We forced 16 turnovers from a team that really doesn't turn the ball over that much. So you can look at it a couple different ways. Their shooting percentage was really good. They made some tough ones. You know, they made open threes, which, you know, they're good. Those guys are good shooters. And Alako played really good. We caught him on a good night. We did a good job on Pierce overall. You know, we didn't do such a good job on Alako and Lee. You know, I thought we had problems there. And then, you know, their big guy hit a big 3 on us. Every time we came back, they hit a big 3 on us. And then we gambled a couple of times, which was dumb. But, I mean, we knew it was going to be a dogfight. You know, they're hard to play from behind on, you know, because they're just going to use the clock on you. And you have to have tremendous discipline. But we had our chances. Like, we had it twice to take the lead. So we made a couple really good defensive plays at the end, which, you know, we just didn't make a couple. We put in our best player's hand. You know, we went with Jimmy on the drive. The guy did a good job on him, and he turned it over. You know, and then the next play, he made a good pass, and Foose just didn't make it, which, you know, normally he's going to make that one. If we make it, we're all happy.
Coach, you mentioned like a key point in this game was conversions at the rim. You made it a point in the offseason to acquire a couple of guys to improve the front court, and tonight Princeton had 34 points in the paint. Can you talk about kind of how you plan to improve going forward, because there's still a lot of season left, and just that seemed like a point of weakness tonight?
Well, I said before, like, that we had to develop our inside game if we really were going to become a great team, and we didn't play very good in there tonight. Like, we not only did we not score it, but we also turned the ball over in there when we should be able to throw out of those double teams and get 3 balls. So until we really develop that part, then we're a little bit too perimeter oriented. I mean, they scored in the paint. They drove us. I mean, but, you know, I didn't feel like they completely dominated us. I thought we had them pretty much covered early in the game. We had offensive issues, and then we got a little bit tired when we got beat a little bit up top. And then at the end, I thought, you know, we revved up again and guarded a little bit better. But part of it is we played a lot. Like, I'm not making excuses, but we've played a lot of games here in the last. So I felt like we were a quarter step slow, kind of. Looked like it to me. It's hard because we had to prep. Like we had a one-day prep on them, and so we couldn't just sit them around and do nothing. So we had to work them, and we got another one-day prep. So that's hard too. No excuses. I mean, it's a tough game though. They had a little more rest than we did. They play less people than we do, so it was kind of a wash in some regards.
Keith, I feel you can make a case for you guys maybe having the toughest non-conference schedule, maybe in the conference. I don't know, but what goes into making a schedule like this? Do you look at your roster? Do you look at?
It's a hard schedule. I mean, it's you figure with Charleston, Cleveland State, you're talking about teams that win a lot of games. These guys, they went to the Sweet 16 last year. Santa Clara beat Stanford last night. UC Irvine beat USC last night. Bradley's really good. It's not going to get any easier. They're all A10. They're all A10 type teams. So, like, this team's a hard team because of their style. So it's a hard schedule. We felt like we were going to have a relatively good team, so why not?
Coach, I felt like obviously their style sort of forced your big men to be very mobile and dynamic, both in how they defended and how they rebounded. How did that sort of affect your rotation, especially with Trey being out and Fusini getting into foul trouble?
I mean, it affected us. I think it's a relatively good game for Trey Williams, because he's played against that stuff before, playing Richmond and that. And then Fusini getting in foul trouble affected us. And then Jakob had a freshman night. He wasn't great, but he's capable of playing better than that. So we have enough guys. I mean, we do, but I wouldn't say it didn't affect us, because it did.
Coach, in the past, would you have trusted Trey Clark to play so many minutes out there despite the heavy foul trouble he was in?
Look, I wasn't going to sit him down there and not play him. I mean, what good does that do? We're playing from behind. I mean, he's a smart kid. Like, he can't keep his hand out of the cookie jar, but he's a smart kid. I mean, he got a couple tough calls. I thought the one, like, they reached in and grabbed him first and then he charged. That was a tough fourth foul. I don't know. I'd rather go down playing him than not playing him.
Coach, you said Jakob had a freshman night. I saw you pull him aside when he subbed out early in the first half, kind of put your arm around him, talk to him. I saw some of the other guys on your bench talking to him after he came out. What can he take away from a night like this? And freshmen in general, I saw Jake had some big minutes tonight. What can they take away from a high-pressure environment where mistakes are going to happen?
I thought he got tired. I thought he got tired. He made some mistakes that he normally wouldn't make. He's going to be a good player. I mean, every game is a learning experience. So he's kind of been thrown out there, relatively quickly, and playing multiple positions on top of it. We had to play him at the 5 some tonight because of our issues. So it certainly wasn't on him. Like, our older guys got to play a little bit better than that. The game really wasn't on him.
Last 15 seconds of the game, you guys get the steal. Kareem brings up the ball. You had a timeout left. Was there any desire to not call the timeout to avoid Princeton not getting set, or was there any regret on your part not calling up a play to get one of the other guards the ball?
I mean, we got a great shot. I mean, I've consistently done the same thing. So there's no second guess for me. Like, we did it last year. We scored at the end of the game with Jimmy. We scored with Tevin Brewer. I just think it's easier to play out of those situations than it is out of a set situation. So, I mean, different guys have different philosophies. You can't get a much better shot than that one, though. So we called timeout to play before, and we turned it over. So, I mean, it's half dozen on one or the other. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. We didn't win, so you can criticize it. I got my big boy pants on. I think I can take about anything anybody can throw at me. But I don't think you can get anything better than a 2-foot, jumper in the paint. So I'll take that every damn day of the week. It's a little helter-skelter. You're right. Like, you can get a bad shot too, but I think it's a little harder than playing against a set situation. It's a little easier than playing against a set situation, in my opinion, especially if you practice it.
Do you have any update on those two guys, the big guys? I mean, do you know when those guys are going to come back?
I think Trey Williams will be back sooner than later. Like, I don't think he'll play against Ryder or Nebraska, but I think he'll be back after that at some point, unless he has a complication. And then Duchamp probably for the conference season, optimistically. Pretty bad injury, so. You can keep asking him. I'm good, Jim.
Just wanted to ask about Andre. 23 minutes for him tonight. Seems like in the last 2 games he's been guarding both bigger and smaller, opponents. What do you think his ideal role looks like here, and how can he be most effective for you guys?
I think he's played better. I do. I mean, he's capable of scoring around the rim. I think he can pass out of the double team. I think he could drive it. I think both those guys are good players, Fusini and Andre. We're probably a little better on offense when we play them together. Probably not quite as good defensively because Dixon does change a lot of shots at the rim. He made some big plays. He didn't score around the rim, and his free throw shooting is a little suspect, but I think Andre's going to be a good player. He just has to relax, and, he's missing some around the rim that I would think he would make. But I think it's just comfort. Anybody else? All right, see you in 24 hours or whatever.